Carla. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to let everybody know what my brother has done for me. He gave me a piece of him. He gave me a kidney, changed my life completely. I didn't realize how tired I was after I received his kidney, and wow, what a change. I was able to play with my daughter with more energy. I was able to go to work. So I have to tell everybody that he really made a change in my life. His solidarity, his love for me, his empathy, compassion, really, really made a difference in me. Coming back to my health and to the last video, we moved from Colombia to Lima. I had no more urinary infections. I had migraines. Still taking aspirin. That move was not an easy move. I wasn't 10 anymore, which is easier than almost 15. Also in an all-girls school. These girls were not as nice as the girls in Colombia, and again, it was maybe that it wasn't that they weren't that nice. It was just that maybe they were all just living their own lives in a difficult, complicated age. I just felt lonely. It was hard to fit into this school, into these friends, and it took me like a year to finally fit in, find my way, and I did find some very, very special friends there. A couple of them just came for my birthday. We had a lot of fun. So yeah, they kind of became my sisters. And so that year wasn't easy because of school, because I had a new family. I had a new stepmom, which I didn't get along with at the beginning. And it was hard. So that's how my school years went by, already accustomed at the end. That was all good. Then I went into college, studied special ed, started studying special ed. And when I was 20, I had this horrible cough. And I just wouldn't get better. And my dad said, you know what, I'm going to take you to this doctor. He's a clinician. He's very good. And I want to know what's going on with that cough. So we went, and he took my vitals. He said, your blood pressure is pretty high for the 20 years old that you are. I want to do more tests. Maybe you're just nervous, and that would be fine. But I would like to check your kidneys. And I asked him, why kidneys? And he explained that the blood vessels in the kidneys are very, very thin. And if the high blood pressure, if the blood pressure is high, constantly high, the first organ that would be affected would be the kidneys. So okay, it made sense. We went with my dad, we went to do all these tests. It was like a nuclear one, x-rays, blood draws, all of those things. And when the technician came out, he had this worried face. He said, I want to show you this picture of your kidneys. One of them is very small, like around a 3-year-old. And the other one is like cut in half. It was like a kidney cut in half. And this is concerning. You really need an appointment with a nephrologist. So my face was blank. My dad's face was blank. until we looked at each other and we burst into laughter. We couldn't stop laughing. It was denial, complete denial. Went home. My stepmom asked, "So how'd it go?" And I was very blunt. I just said, "I have half of a kidney and the other one is small, like a 3-year-old. She's a psychologist, and she quickly understood. I didn't want to talk about it. So she patiently waited, and she knew that it was eventually going to sink in. And it did. It sunk in the day I had my appointment with a nephrologist. This nephrologist was also very blunt. I don't like beating around the bushes, so that was good. He said, "You are going to need a kidney transplant in 10 years. Okay. And I like all the information. I need everything. And I said, "What else? What does that mean?" "Well, that means that you have to take care of your kidney for these 10 years, for it to last the 10 years that we want it to. You can't drink alcohol." I was 20. And I had had a couple of experiences drinking. I got drunk twice, and I felt so bad after, like the next day, like the hangover was horrible. And I was thinking, why do people do this? This is really not worth it. And then I stopped drinking. Of course, my kidneys couldn't, they just couldn't stand the amount of alcohol I gave it. And so that's, thank God, I didn't drink more, because the doctor said your function would be even lower. So thank God you were not a drinker. So I said, okay, no drinking. What else? You're gonna have to change your diet. You're gonna have to eat low protein, low in salt. So, and I liked eating, especially living in Peru, where the food is amazing. I loved eating and eating out. So I said, okay, anything else? And this one was the worst part. He said, yes, one more thing. If you want to become a mom, you have to do it now. And again, I was 20. Because it's going to be very dangerous if you decide to do this later on. I had a boyfriend. We were together for 4 years. He is the person that I eventually married, had my first daughter, and then got divorced. And we were like, what are we going to do? And we decided to just leave it there and deal with it in the future. But that's how I found out I needed a kidney transplant. It changed my life. It shifted in a second. And that's when I realized that, again, life can just change in a second. And I started cherishing life. I started knowing that anything could happen in any moment. So I decided to do something about it and enjoy life. I had a scary path ahead, but I've always been pretty positive. I've always had an amazing family, very supportive, and that's how I found out. That's how I started living the next years of my life with a totally different perspective, one that I grew to love. And I became a little bit stronger with each step that I gave. I got scared, I dealt with it, and then a little bit stronger. And that became my life. But what really just was always in my mind with this sadness in my head, in my heart, was I really want to be a mom. And I couldn't. Then I realized that there were other ways to become a mom, and I'll tell you about that in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.